I am sick. Oh, I'm so sick. I just caught a cold on my trip that I'm about to talk about. So if I sound like death at any point, that's why. Just getting out of the way. Oh, yeah. Today we are going to have a discussion about my trip to Greenville, South Carolina. And it's not the place itself that is the topic of discussion necessarily, although this is going to be kind of set up like a vlog. It's more about some things that I discovered while I was there that hopefully is applicable to everyone watching this, not just people who are thinking about moving to Greenville, although I would consider it because it's a really nice place, as you'll see. So sit back, grab a cup of liquid of your choice, heat it up in the microwave. As usual, we're very casual here. I told myself that I would never use like vlogger jazz hop music over B-roll. But as you can see, I am 3 videos in and I've already failed to stick with that. So here we go. Greenville. Why Greenville? Not just because it is akin to my last name, but because it is a pretty perfect downtown, in my opinion. My parents visited there a couple years ago and they kept returning and saying, like, this is utopia. So I've checked it out a couple of times now myself. This is my second time there. The city itself spans about 30 square miles and has a population of a little less than 70,000. So not a huge downtown, but I would say the perfect size. What the intention of this particular trip for me was to go and scope out the area for apartments and for places I could work. So in preparation leading up to this trip, I knew I was going to stop into a couple of agencies, anywhere I could get my foot in the door and bring a resume and a leave behind. In the end, I only got to go into 2 of the possible 4 places that I was looking at. And originally, I had only planned to go to 3 different ad agencies because those were the only ones that I knew about. However, only one of them called me back. So I stopped into there, I toured their space, I gave them a leave behind, gave them a resume, and someone at that location actually recommended me another creative agency that was a little bit outside the main heart of downtown, but on that art district. So I stopped into there, and I mean, without saying too much, because I don't want to get my hopes up, I really liked it there. It was a really cool place. And I honestly think that the leave behind that I made and showed in my last video really helped because I think it left a good impression. And then also the president followed me on Instagram after receiving my leave behind, which had my information on it. Additionally, something extremely important that came out of that was just professional experience. I was talking to people that worked at these places and I was getting tours of their space. I was able to interact with people that might be a possible contact from that company. And it just gave me a whole another level of confidence, I guess, just to go down there. Like, it wasn't an interview, it wasn't really a scheduled tour, it was just like, hey, I'm here, can you maybe show me some stuff? And they were always really, really kind. Now, the companies that didn't get back to me are a little bit larger, and I was totally expecting that. You know, not everyone's gonna get back to you, and honestly, maybe that's kind of a sign. Maybe I shouldn't be wanting to work for those places if they're never gonna get back to me. It is December 31st. Happy New Year. Here's the sun on December 31st, 2019. And then, wow, you really can't tell, but that is a little tiny mountain. So Happy New Year. Mountain, sun, my red face. As well as looking at possible places to work, I was looking at apartments. And that, of course, is always a little scary and extremely exciting because you're able to sort of tour a model or a space that they have free, and immediately you're in that space and you're imagining yourself living there. Like, it was crazy. I toured a couple different places that had studio apartments. And if you don't know, a studio apartment is a one-room, small apartment, usually about, I would say, 500 to 700 square feet, depending on the price. And it does not have a bedroom. So you have a kitchenette, and you have your main living space, and then you have a bathroom. So your bed is there, your desk, your table, whatever. You're eating in the same space that you're sleeping, which I think is really convenient.
Welcome to bed with me. But I wanted to record this video to sort of document how I was feeling about being in that space, because I went through like this roller coaster of emotions inside the model studio. And the first reaction, of course, is like, oh my god, this is so exciting, like this is my space, this will be my space. But the other thing that ran through my head was, wow, this is just me. Like, I don't have roommates, this is just me. And that's the intention when I graduate, is I do want to be on my own, but I don't know, something about being completely in solitude was like, God, it really hit me when I was in that space, in that quiet studio apartment by myself. I'm like, I will come home from work, or I will finish up freelancing for the day, and then it's just me in this little 400 square foot space. I like it, but I am scared of it. So that's what I wanted to say before it left my prefrontal cortex. That probably is not the part of the brain. Before it left my hippocampus, that's where the memory... Anyways, you get the point. Before it left my mind. Yes.
It's a crazy thing to go to a place that you might be living and exploring this space and imagining yourself living there. Like, there were so many times when I was eating in a restaurant, or I was at a bar, or I was walking around the actual space, and I was thinking, this could be home. I kept seeing myself living there and feeling very happy. Everyone in the city was so kind. I don't know if it was a Southern hospitality thing. I made like 5 friends while I was there, and I've never done that on a vacation, like made a friend where we like exchange information and everything. And it's all sorts of walks of life. You have young people, you have older people, but overall I would say the demographic is pretty young. And as we know, South Carolina is a pretty conservative state, but Greenville itself is pretty liberal, and I just felt kind of at home, honestly. They have a great art district, they have great nature, they have a bike trail. I mean, I could just really see myself living there. So I don't want to close my options out, because there's still a lot of things I need to do research on. I still have 1 more semester of school, but after going to Greenville, touring apartments, touring agencies. So that's about it for today. I am left feeling really encouraged after that. And my last piece of takeaway information, or maybe some advice for, today's conversation that we had, is maybe I realized that your options might seem really like spread out for a long time. Like, you might think, oh my god, what am I going to do? There's a million choices. But then when you find something that's specific and you can kind of see yourself working that specific opportunity out, things begin to narrow themselves down, and then the vision doesn't become so big and blurry. Because from my previous videos, the vision was huge. Like, I had no idea what exactly I would be honing in on, and now I've found something that I'm like, okay, I can lock onto this for a little while, and whether it works out or not, or whether that's the thing I pursue first, or maybe in a couple years, I have something now. I have a specific goal to work towards. So I hope that you can find that And if you're feeling a little lost, we're gonna get through this together. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you very soon.